Hey guys, it's Jenny from Created to Create Studios here with your weekly vlog. So it looks like I did that introduction video for my website, and then I did one about how I got started back in art. I did one about the first time I was able to actually call myself an artist. And then I believe the last one we did was about me officially starting the business and taking the steps to try to make it work as a small business and being an entrepreneur. And I've got to say, I grew a lot in the first couple years. Um, I was making more sales, more word of mouth commission jobs, which I was really excited about because that was kind of like my steady income. I was doing more paid workshops with different organizations, so I was loving that. So the business was growing by increments, and the expenses were finally starting to even out from how high they are when you first start. But then COVID happened. Oh my gosh, COVID happened. So there's no art shows, there's no gallery showings, there's no outings, there's no all the usual art venues have been shut down, and I started to panic. The world view of a successful business needing to make money, and I was just starting to make money, and I didn't want to lose that momentum. I was terrified of losing that momentum. So I started just getting crazy with different ideas, and at the end of 2020, I took it upon myself to start a merchandise store to integrate onto my website with my original artwork and my prints. It was extremely stressful. I decided, along with doing that I was going to give my website a complete overhaul and change my logo and give everything a new look. And I am not a techie person. So I was also going through a flare at the time. I was very sick. I wasn't eating. I was having really bad POTS episodes. Every time I would stand up, my heart rate would go into the 170s. Brushing my teeth would bring it to the 180s. So I spent a lot of time in bed, but the frustration level was horrible because I was working on the website. I was doing mock-ups of my art on everything from t-shirts to aprons to phone cases and journals and stationery and cards and skirts, and it was crazy. And then I was trying to integrate it in my website, and it was crazy. And I did it. Not perfectly, but I just have to remember that God doesn't want my perfection. He just wants my yes. So I did it. I through a lot of tears, a lot of frustration, more swear words than I care to admit, and more times of saying I'm just going to give up than I care to admit. But tenaciously pressed on, and it got completed, and I launched that on New Year's, January 1st. I launched it, and I've had a few sales, nothing great, but it's okay. It's, some passive income that I don't really have to think much about. But I was feeling scattered. I was feeling like I had my toes in all kinds of different little pools. I'm doing some commissions here. I'm painting this. I'm painting that. I'm drawing this. I'm, doing this once in a while virtual workshop. And then I started the merchandise stuff, and I felt like I was losing focus, completely losing focus. So I took a couple days and did a lot of praying, a lot of reflection, a lot of going back, looking at my art through the years, a bunch of unfinished projects, going back and looking at those, like books I've started writing and never finished. And I didn't want to stay unfocused. I needed God to realign my thinking and get my vision back. And it came down to what I always knew. It's the workshops. My workshops are my main thing. But there's also nothing wrong with selling my personal art. So I was kind of doing them both. But the priority is actually the workshop. So I started getting gung-ho. I typed up my first official proposal because the only workshops I've done were through word of mouth people I know so far. So I was going to be very bold and come up with proposals and mail them out to potential clients and hosts, and I was really getting focused and directed. Um, and it felt good. It felt like I was finally lining back up with where I was supposed to be. And then I stumbled across this. I don't know if any of you know Matt Tommy. He's a Christian artist. He creates beautiful sculpture with like woven baskets and gnarly wood and stuff. His work is really cool and unique. But he's a Christian artist, and he was doing a 5-day masterclass, and it was free. And I did it, and I went through it, and wheels were turning, and he was, the last one, we knew it was coming. He was selling his mentoring program is what it was. But I got so much just from the 5-day masterclass that I was really considering it. And on the very last day to sign up, I kind of just put it out of my mind. I don't have the money. I can't afford it. There's no way. Um, And then my husband and I were stuck in the snow driving to go see our daughters, and I just brought it up to him casually, and we talked about it for about 15-20 minutes, and it seemed like yes was the only answer. So I registered for this mentoring class. I paid for the full year, which was a huge investment in myself. I don't have money to be spending, so I'm really trusting God for this one. But so I joined this mentoring program, and I got to tell you, it was nothing short of miraculous. I decided to buckle down like the good student I am at the beginning of a school year, and I started watching some of the videos and going through the modules and organizing my time. And in that very first day, God started disclosing some things to me. For years, I had so many questions and so many things left where I was still looking for the reason, and they say everything happens for a reason. There were so many things that I still hadn't found the reason for yet, and he was finally starting to connect all the dots for me. I know I've used that phrase before. But yeah, so what happens in the next week is pretty cool, because he starts to reveal some things to me about my art style and about my art subject. And I think we're going to talk about that on the next vlog. So now you know that I set myself up as a business, and then I got myself all crazy, and then I needed to get recentered. And then I came across this Christian artist mentoring program, which has been so impactful for me, and it's changing a lot of things, and that's why there's this change in the journey. So next time we get together, I'll be sharing a little bit about what he disclosed to me as far as my art style, technique, and themes going forward. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.